Let me get the right
Accorda, as we gather here in Roisin Bay, Longford, to honour a young and brave volunteer of Old Lignahearn, we in RSF Public have and will continue to resist British rule in this country, as we have done for the past 100 years. We remember all those men and women who fought and died, some of them whom we knew in recent times, and all the innocent Irish people killed and maimed by the British Army of Occupation and their murder squads. It is indeed heartbreaking when we see former or so-called Republicans laying wreaths and honouring the very people that put our sons, daughters, fathers and mothers in their graves through the centuries. They call themselves Republicans, but they're not Republicans, they're anti-Republican. 104 years ago today, Eddie Carmody was shot at this spot. His lifeless body was thrown into a lorry and taken to the RIC barracks and left in a shed at the rear of the building, and it was from there his grieving father removed his remains the next day. Eddie Carmody was born in 1894. He joined the Volunteers in 1914. His company was very active locally in the campaign against the RIC in Black and Tans in North Kerry. This night, 104 years ago, the Black and Tans with the regular RIC went on the rampage and decided to terrorise the locals by shooting indiscriminately, burning thatch roofs and looting public houses. Local volunteers decided to mount an attack on the Tans. One volunteer went to the dump to get his weapons, while the others were to wait here at Roisin Cross. While they waited, they heard footsteps were heard by Eddie Carmody. Thinking it was his comrades, ventured out on the dark road. Sadly, it was the enemy, an RIC search party. Carmody retreated, but was shot in the back. He hid behind a wall, but was later captured. Eddie Carmody was dragged onto the road and murdered right here at this spot. As we commemorate Eddie Carmody here today, though a small number, it is right and proper that we should honour this brave soldier of the Republican Army. Though 104 years have passed since that awful night, Ireland is not at peace. Ireland is not Gaelic, inclusive, gender, equal 32 county, sovereign republic as enshrined in the Proclamation of 1916. The sundering of that republic, declared and instituted by Dáil Éireann in 1919 and functioned as a sovereign republic through 1921, was brought about by cowardice and greed of third-tier Irish political opportunists who signed on to the infamous British drafted Anglo-Irish Treaty of 1921 that included in its Articles of Surrender the partition of Ireland. From 1922 through 1923, proponents of that infamous treaty collaborated with their British overlords to engage in a vicious war against Republican volunteers who opposed the treaty and continue to fight for the survival of the Irish Republic. The Free State stepped into the shoes of the Black and Tans. The brutality of the war in Kerry put the actions and brutality of the Crown forces of 1919 to 21 in the shade. The overwhelming support in arms and manpower provided by the British, coupled with summary executions, extrajudicial killings, resulted in the defeat of the Volunteers. That was followed by a prolonged period of wholesale retribution against the surviving Republican volunteers and their supporters by the nascent Free State government. Coming up shortly is an election in the 26 counties. Two main Free State parties, Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, have been in government together. Despite their claims that they want to see United Ireland, they have nothing in the last 100 years to bring about a self-governing 32-county Ireland. They have done all in their power to keep Ireland divided. They have tortured, imprisoned and executed Republicans who continue the struggle to finally remove the British presence from Ireland. Successive Free State governments have failed the people of the 26 counties. Millions of taxpayers' money is being wasted on things like bike shelters, etc. The social order, with all its inadequacies and inequalities, remain intact, and the exploitation of both native, Irish and foreign immigrant workers continues. Political corruption, hypocrisy and public apathy are rife. Grasping politicians are always ready to sell Ireland's natural resources, privatise our public service or sell us to foreign alliances. Republicans and other interested parties should endeavour to cooperate on a consultative assembly for discussion on the Ireland that we want. We want in Sinn Féin Public place the four-province federal solution of Ireland on the table for discussion and debate. As far back as the 1970s, loyalists entertained this concept in the eventuality of a British withdrawal. Only a new Ireland, representative of all the people of Ireland coming together to decide on their future destiny, can bring peace and justice to all. The Republican movement has been consistent in maintaining the fundamental right to freedom and sovereignty. We will never accept foreign rule over the historic Irish nation. Very shortly, Republican Sinn Féin will be commemorating the 80th anniversary of the hanging of Charlie Cairns by De Valera's Fianna Fáil government. De Valera's Free State administration went to extreme lengths to silence a rising groundswell of public opinion against the execution. They imposed a ban on radio and all newspaper information about the event. Over 77,000 people signed the petition for a reprieve, but Fianna Fáil was determined to execute Charlie, and so they brought over the English hangman Pierpoint to do their dirty work. Before we leave here today, we send solidarity greetings to the people of Palestine, who are enduring unimaginable suffering at the hands of the American-backed Israeli army. Your fight is our fight. But as I said before we leave here tonight, we remember all the members of Republican Sinn Féin who have passed away this past year. And I would also like to wish Ard Rooney, Colette Healy a speedy recovery. We're now calling Dominic Kissan from Listener today to reach on behalf of Republican Sinn Féin.